And of course, my fucking camera is not in the right spot. This real quick.
What? Huh? Yeah.
I'm gonna wait just a second while I... Okay, so it's gonna show people are live in here now, so that's good. That back up. Fucking Streamlabs.
Well, this party's face-up is the defense position. All magic and random cards are rendered ineffective. What?
Okay. I don't have to close that off. Give it 1 second while I simulate through this season, because we don't actually start our rebuild until after the season. Thank you for following for Gathers. Thanks for following, man. I appreciate it. Okay. And I stupidly did not turn off pre-existing injuries, so that'll be fun. Let's get this off. My stuff won't really matter now, but I don't want to have to worry about not having any college players scouted. Made that mistake last time. Okay, go ahead and send to the off season, and now we can start. Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. If you guys missed the last one, that was with PTA. It is up on the YouTube channel. I believe if you type in !YT, you should be able to get to it. This time around, we'll be having a duo on the channel. Not just any duo, however. It is the R0bs, aka Miss Rob Gaming Chelsea, and Rob Gaming Rob. So let me go ahead and introduce you first. Let's do ladies first. Say hello to Chelsea, guys. Wondering if they can hear this or not. Alright, and then we got Rob in here. Both of which are great streamers in their own right. Both of which stream very different content. I believe Rob is mainly a Madden player, if I am correct. And I've seen...
That's correct.
Obviously correct. Okay, I thought you might have played some MLB or something there in the off season, but then I was like, nah, I'm pretty sure he was only playing Madden. And then Chelsea plays a majority of games that I've seen. I actually got Dead by Daylight, which I still have to play with her. I'm sure she's wanting to play that with me for a while, but I still gotta wait till it downloads. So, and unfortunately, I had to put that on pause so Madden 22 can download. Now, Rob, first I'll ask you, since I know they can hear you for sure. What got you into streaming when you first started?
I would probably say what got me into streaming was I got into watching a lot of YouTube, and I was watching guys like iMaverick and GS and Toke, and I found out about Twitch because I think in one of iMav's videos he was talking about live streaming, and then I also heard it about in one of Toke's videos, and I think it was Toke actually had a link in one of his Twitch videos, and I clicked on it. I didn't know like what Twitch was at the time, so I was like, okay, well then I tried looking up iMav, and iMav was live one day, and I was watching him, and I was like, wow, this is kind of cool, and it was you can interact with these people. I was actually interacting or getting information and enjoying watching them through a video that was already pre-recorded, but in this case, I was able to actually interact with them in a live atmosphere. So for me, that was pretty cool, and it really kind of got me into that, and that's what kind of propelled me, and thought it was really cool and wanted to kind of get involved with it.
Sounds cool. What year was that in? Was that like super recently? Was it a little bit longer ago?
It was probably when Madden so I started watching and playing Madden like Madden 25. But when I found out about Twitch, it was like near the end of Madden 25. Before like Madden 15 was coming out and everything like that, and it just got up to like the next gen and
okay, so
like that.
5 or 6 years ago, basically.
Yeah, about like 5 or 6 years ago.
That's a pretty long time, and so that's what got you into streaming, which is obviously a lot of us had some creator probably help us kind of push in that direction. Landmark, how are you doing, man? Sorry I didn't respond right away. I didn't want to interrupt my guest. If you guys want to hop into chat too, by the way, so that way if anybody asks you guys anything specifically, maybe you can add it on to the tail end of whatever your answer was. Because I'm going to see the questions, but I never want to interrupt whoever I'm interviewing while they're answering with the questions I already gave. So I think it'll just make it a little bit easier. Okay, Chelsea, same question to you. What got you into streaming?
Chelsea, are you there?
Did she I don't know, she might have walked out of the room.
Oh, let me check her audio. She'll get it clip again.
Okay, off season. While we're figuring out the situation over there, let's go ahead and see who we gotta resign here. I mean, Leonard Williams is a superstar. He is 27, so do we want to pay this much for him? Let's look at his stats first before I make that decision. He is going to get an upgrade, so he's now going to be an 81. Which adds maybe a little bit of his value to stick around, but let's see here what his stats were. Oh, Mark-Ann can't hear us. I don't know if he can't hear me. I mean, I know you can hear me. Okay. I don't know what it is, because not even the fan's hitting the microphone, so I'm not sure why he can't hear me. Unless I changed it. Now I bumped it up like a notch or two. Okay, good now. I'm not quite sure why it's...
No, they were
Why... I'm not sure why you couldn't hear me before, but... Okay, so give us a minute. Let me make sure you guys can both hear me, right?
I can hear you.
Okay, you guys can hear me. And chat can hear me. Okay, so Chelsea, I don't know if you heard my first question, but...
I did, and I guess I was talking, but I didn't realize that nobody could hear me.
Okay.
So... But hi, I'm Chelsea. Nice to meet everybody.
Bester? I don't know. Shellbester? 21, thank you for the follow. Okay, so what got you into streaming, Chelsea?
It was just due to R0bs streaming. I mean, I didn't initially start streaming until just recently, probably like 5 months ago now. And he's been streaming for 6 years almost. So in the beginning, I was just like the bystander, and I would hop on stream with him occasionally, and I was just like, I was the person in the background.
You were just a good significant other that would show up to his streams and such, right?
Exactly. I was in people's chats and doing all of that stuff. I would help him with his stream when he needed help. And then about 5 months ago, when I met other women in the industry, like this is an industry.
Well, Twitch is an industry, to be fair.
Well, it's, yeah. So other women I met in the community, like McMillie, Dardar, Nishi, Calamity Kate,
Lauren?
I got interested in streaming at that point. And so that's when I decided to take the plunge and create my own account and kind of just take it from there.
Okay, that sounds about as accurate as most people probably that started streaming. Most of us did kind of start as background people that were just kind of in chat for entertainment, or in your case was just kind of in the background while he was streaming.
Well, I think it's good to be able to. I think the smartest thing to do becoming a new streamer is networking first, so people know who you are.
Yeah.
You build relationships with people, and then so when they see your name, you know, they're like, oh, I know who that is, and you're more likely to get that viewership, if that makes sense, because you've already built those connections, those relationships with people. So
Yeah, that's a very fair. Probably best advice you could possibly give somebody is exactly that. You gotta network first. You gotta get into a community first. You know. It feels like if you're not already in a community and you're not networking from the get-go, you're not going to grow very quickly. And that leads me to my second question. Who is your main... I'm going to ask Chelsea this first, and we're going to go to Rob after. Who, when you feel like you don't want to stream anymore, or maybe you're starting to doubt your streams, or whatever the case may be, who helps you kind of stay on the straight and narrow and just continuing to be motivated to do so? Like, who gets your mind right when you're, like, starting not wanting to stream, but you still want to stream at the same time, if that makes sense?
yeah, so it's kind of funny because he is very new to streaming, and I have a good relationship with him, but it's actually Artem. And I'm
Okay,
sure you know who that is.
Artem is a very good, definitely very good person to have on your shoulder to be like, hey, you can do it, you got this.
He's the one that, I was not going to stream yesterday, and he actually texted me, and I'm like, in my bed laying down, and he texted me, and he was like, get your ass up, and get on stream. And I was like, what do you have, like a camera in my room? You're watching me? How did you know I was in bed, for one? So, yeah, he's definitely been somebody that has been very motivating. I have a good relationship with him, a good friendship with him, not just inside of Twitch, you know, outside of Twitch as well. So, yeah. He's definitely been somebody that's been that person.
And Artem definitely seems like a great dude. Obviously, I haven't met anybody in the community in real life yet, but there's obviously most of the community is pretty good characters. There's a couple people, we're not going to get too far in, we're not going to get into it really at all, but there's a small group of people that have been causing some type of drama around the community, whether it's directed to them or they're actually starting it. Unfortunately, that's just the way it's going to be. That's, I guess, human instinct. People got to cause some type of problem, but yeah, Artem's definitely probably one of the few people that I'd give mods in, like, any social media thing I'm in that can allow me to give mods to people. He's probably one of the first 4 or 5 people I think of to give it to.
Oh yeah, he's an incredible human being. Not just, you know, on Twitch, but his character outside of Twitch. And
so his outside character reflects his in Twitch character.
Exactly.
He's a genuine dude.
Right, it's hard to find people that their in Twitch person is the same, reflects their outside life. So
yeah.
once I saw that in him, I said, "Yep, absolutely, snatching you right up, Artem. You're mine now." So yeah, he's actually coming to stay with us for a week in October, so that's gonna be nice.
Yeah, maybe we can get. If I don't have anybody around that time, I can get him on here while he's over there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so with yours being done, Rob, same question to you. Who motivates you on days that you don't want to stream or you start doubting your abilities or whatever?
Something different, so it's hard to like kind of pinpoint, you know, just one person, you know, that I go to. I try to get around to everybody. I don't feel like there's anybody that I, you know, personally single out. If I had to, I'd probably say like normally when I get off of work, you know, after a long day, it's like late at night, it's like at 10 o'clock. When I was playing Call of Duty, you know, pretty heavily, it was like Tifu or It's Iron, were guys that I would kind of pop up on the television and watch, and because I just enjoyed watching people at the highest play something at the highest level. When Madden was out, I gravitated towards watching guys like, people that were out late at night or on late at night. Big Evo, Johnny Madden.
I would occasionally be on pretty late myself, so I'd catch you in chat sometimes when you were in here.
It's and by that time it's super late, and I'm getting ready to turn it down, and I'll go in and I'll say hi to some people, but I'll pop a stream on, when I'm getting ready to just kind of turn it down and get ready to fall asleep, and those are the people that I'm putting on, and I'm just laying there relaxing and getting ready to knock out, but it's a lot of people. There's a lot of great people that are in the community. A lot of people, like I said, that do a lot of things differently, and so it's hard to just kind of single one or two people out. I try to get around to a bunch of different people.
Yeah, I'm a big advocate for doing stuff differently, doing stuff kind of that a lot of the community I don't think does, and it's obviously nothing against those specific, anybody in the community. It's not me bad-mouthing them or anything like that. I just like being a little bit more out of the box is what I do. Like, obviously during Madden season, the stream team's probably going to be the only Madden-related thing I stream when it comes to Twitch at all. And I might stream MUT, I don't know yet. I don't know how much I'll actually be into it. But, obviously, I'm sure you guys pay attention to the directory quite often. I'm normally on almost a different game every single day, almost. And that's why I like being a variety streamer for that reason. It's always something different, and I almost always get some new faces, too. So... Okay, so Robert, will start with you for the third question. What 5 people and 5 words do you first think of when you think of this community specifically?
Obviously, we're talking about the Madden community, so, I don't want to use, bigger names, because, I feel like, those people are on a different type of bracket.
Yeah, definitely don't, obviously don't throw people out that are, have multi-thousands followers, I guess, because those are easy answers. I want to hear your, harder to pick out people type of answers.
I think when it comes down to, the community itself, I think of guys like, Up and Adam, R0bs, Big Evo, Johnny Madden, yourself, a lot of core guys, that are really, involved in the community, and, kind of really, CJ, it's really kind of hard, to
I know
see
it's hard to
it's
hard to also pin down 5 specific people. I know that's pretty hard to do.
It is, it is. It's very hard.
That's why that's one of the questions. I have to put in something that's kind of hard to, pinpoint 5 of, so that was one of the best things I can think of that is going to be super generic that everybody's going to be asked,
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, now, you hit on, there's a couple streamers that, and I'll obviously answer, I already answered with PTA, but if you want to take the bigger names out, the people I think of is, Stray, you know him, right?
Stray,
yeah, Stray Day.
Yeah, Stray Day, I know him, I popped in his streams a few times and lurked in there and stuff like that.
He's a pretty good dude. There's Stray that I think of, I had his name in my freaking head and then I fucking lost it. What was it? It was Stray. Oh, Lane Day. Lane Day's pretty up there for me. He is a bigger guy, but Fritzy. Mr. Clap himself. Obviously, right now he's on the route of probably reclaiming his account off of the trying to revoke it or whatever you want to call it. He's on the way back from what he told me. So, and then the last person I think of is the last two is Laserbeam and Mark Ant. Okay, so now
I'll throw another one in there too. Dino. I am Dino's another good dude too.
Yeah.
Really energetic. Always showing a lot of support. And hanging out with people and just really, it really shows a lot of respect for people that come in through his chat and show some love and hang out there. Really takes the time to kind of conversate with them, get to know them and stuff like that and whatnot for sure.
Yeah, he's a good guy. I have his I actually got his Be Great red hoodie. And it's like I got it because even though it's warm weather, I know I'll need it for summer, and the other jackets I had were too small at that point. So I went ahead, picked that up, knowing that's probably going to be the main hoodie I wear. I haven't worn it yet, so I don't even know how it feels. But he's definitely a good dude. I see his name around a lot of channels, just like the people I mentioned are in a lot of channels as well. But now with that, what are your 5 words to describe this community? Try to keep generous out of the 5 because that's kind of an easy first word everyone's going to say if I don't tell them to exclude it.
I think it's kind of hard to kind of put in specific words. I'll say this.
You can use a phrase too if you want, by the way.
I think there's a lot of good-hearted people that are involved into the community, and there's a lot of people that really try to buy in and really try to support a lot of the people that are around the community. Whether it's gifting subs or spending time in chats, and I feel like there's a lot of those people that are out there. And then I also do feel that there are people that are out there that unfortunately aren't who they say they are, or
there's a couple of snakes in the grass, so to speak.
Yeah, and the thing is you always want to you just try to stay surround yourself around positivity. If you're positive and you surround yourself around positivity, then positive things are going to happen for you. But there's a lot of those people, those good-hearted people, that unfortunately just kind of get caught up in, this circle and everything that, they don't know, you think that you know someone, but you don't know someone, and this is not about, anybody in particular or anything like that. It's just in general, because it's not just one person, there's multiple people. For me recently, I just found myself really trying to not really concern myself with, those people that are, living or handling themselves in that manner, and just worrying about myself and how I can grow myself, and, how those people handle their business and how those people handle themselves. There's an old saying, whatever is held into the dark will eventually come into the light, and eventually it will. But those people's darknesses aren't going to be, getting my type of light, so I'm not going to be putting light on it. I'm just going to focus on myself and my goals and ambitions and things that I want to achieve and places where I want to go. But I would say there's a lot of good-hearted people. There's a lot of, I guess you could say, maybe needs improvement type of people. But there's a lot of good people. A lot of good people that are around the community, and I wish nothing but the best for everyone. Good, bad, or indifferent. I wish nothing but the best for everyone. I want everyone to do well. I want everyone to succeed. And I just hope that, the community as a whole just continues to grow and get better, and a lot of the toxicity, kind of falls out, and we get known more for being a positive community than a community that has a little bit, like you said, kind of stinks in the grass or whatever the case may be, and is looked at as a little bit more of a positive standpoint. The other thing too is, I feel like our part of our community is a little bit smaller compared to like the pro style of community, right? Where we're just looking at Madden in general. Obviously you have your comp players, you have your W's, you have your Poppins, you have your jokes, you have your Skimbos, you have all of that. And then obviously you have those other people that are doing, different things, and just trying to create content. And I feel like a lot of times there's people that feel like, like if it's a mafia, hey, we're this, I'm this top dog and I'm this and I'm that, and everything that happens on this platform or anything that goes around or anything that happens in this community needs to include me, or I need to be, I need to have a say in it, or it needs to run through me, and it shouldn't, and it's not like that. It shouldn't be that way, and I think that's another major issue too, is that, when I think about it, I think like that the community needs to be more of a family-oriented community, and not a community that's solely being ran by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 individuals. It's everybody working together and working as a team and wanting everyone to succeed, and not writing people off because you don't think that they're cool enough or this or that or whatever the case may be, or maybe they handle themselves a certain type of way on an off situation. So that's my little take on it.
Yeah, that's probably one of the better answers I could have thought of anyone giving, because the community when it first started out, I'm pretty sure you were around. It was a pretty small, it was a 40-person thing. It wasn't 100 plus, hundreds of people like it is now. And so the message was pretty simple, pretty clear, and pretty genuine. And then now, obviously, as we grow, there's going to be some people competing with one another. There might be some people that get out of line with one another. And that's going to happen when you have a ton of, like, alpha personalities in a community like this one. And that's obviously unfortunate, but it's just the way life is. Hopefully, like you said, maybe we can get back to where the message is clear and everyone lives by it. But right now there's going to be some, snakes, unfortunately, and let's hope that when they get revealed and they either change their ways or they don't become toxic in the community. Okay, so Chelsea, it's your turn to answer. Same question. What are the first 5 people that come to mind when you think of this community?
Okay. Well, first things first, Rob, you sound like you're in an underwater tank. Or swimming,
I'm driving to go and get our daughter.
Oh, I didn't know that. You never told me that.
I did. I said I was going to pick up our daughter.
Oh, I go ahead. Yeah. Okay, well, you could just mute your side because you sound like you're in a tank.
In a tank.
Yes, honey.
Thank you. Okay, so, 5 people, honestly, because I'm so fresh on the platform, and I really didn't dabble too much into, watching people, just the people that Robbie was into, just as a support system. But I would say in the last 5 months, the 5 people that have really, that I really have been there and watched them, and, I would have to say it's McMillie, R0bs, Calamity Kate, Nishi, and probably Big Jess. Those are the people that...
That's a good 5 people for sure. Only one of those I haven't heard of, but you mentioned them, so maybe I need to check them out.
Is it Big Jess?
No, I've seen Big Jess.
Oh, okay, you've seen Big Jess.
I've seen Nishi. It's the one that had a C in its name, something chaotic or chaotic something, Chaotic Kate.
Oh, Calamity Kate.
Calamity Kate, yeah, that one. That one's the only one I haven't heard of, so...
Yeah, so she's also a really good streamer. She's a lot of fun. definitely, like, very inspiring, very uplifting. She always is just very positive in her streams. So I would say those are the 5 people. I mean, because I'm so new to the platform, like, on a streaming level.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm still trying to build my own little community. But I like to keep my circle small. I like to keep my circle small with real, genuine people. I don't have a need to, it's not, for me, it's not how many followers you have. You know what I mean? It's about who's really showing up. Because at the end of the day, you can have 34,000 followers.
Yeah.
But what does that really mean if you get, 20 people in your stream? Like, what does it mean for 34,000
That's what kind of
followers?
sucks, because from what I understand, a lot of what Twitch does to, make assumptions of who's, like, actually has genuine following is based on how many people come in. And it's like, I have 850 something, I think, at this point. And I typically see at max maybe 5 to 7 people before any raids hit. And I know that number jumps around because I'm sure different people jump in at different times and stuff. But it's like they base it off of how many people actually jump in. It's like everyone's stat would look inaccurate because no one has all their followers in their chat at once. It's just not feasibly possible. However, like you said, there's going to be those people you almost know are going to be in your chat. For example, I know when I put out the word, normally you jump in pretty early on. I'm almost certain Sapper shows up almost every time now. Dino, I think, was showing up almost every time. CJ, there's like 5 or 6 people right off the bat.
I can't hear anybody now.
You can't hear me?
I couldn't hear you for the last minute.
I'm not sure why. It must be internet connection.
I can hear you now.
Okay, so like with me, I know the people that are going to show up first. You are normally up there right away. Sapper's pretty quick to jump in when if he's not home as soon as he gets home. Basically, he jumps right in. CJ, Dino, there's like 2 or 3 other people I can't remember off the top of my head who, but I know the same 5 or 6 names that are in almost every single one of my streams that are quite talkative. So those are the type of people those are in my group of people that I'm pretty sure most of which are mods, though I had to. You obviously saw the post a while ago. I had to basically fucking scrap my mods because I had like fucking 30 of them, and a lot of them barely came in. So I'm like, okay, I gotta redo these. So
yeah, which makes sense. Obviously, you're not going. There's some people that they want to mod everybody, and it's like, listen, I mean, you have a mod for a reason, right? Because they have a job. Pretty much, but it's a job to be a mod. It's not just so you can carry around a sword and look, you have a sword. Like, either you're a mod because you're there and you're helpful, and so that's why you have it. I don't understand the concept of modding everybody, especially if they're not showing up, if they're not there. So you just have like a list of mods that never come to your chat.
That's why I like how Fredo does his mods. It's based on how often you show up, how often you chat, and all that stuff is if you get a mod sword or not.
Right, it should be earned. I completely agree that a mod should be earned.
Another streamer outside this community that I've been watching is Wolfie to the Max.
I've never seen him.
Huh?
Never seen that streamer before.
She streams 3 times a week. Normally, I think your time, she goes up at, I think, 11. And she is a variety streamer. She's also a VTuber. I don't know if you know what that is.
VTuber?
Yeah, it's like the ones that have like an anime character moving as like them, basically replacing them on the screen.
Oh, interesting. Never seen that before.
But she has maybe 3 or 4 mods, and all of which had to obviously, first they had to earn it. The only person that didn't was her like friend that's known her for years, or I think it was. So he kind of immediately gets a sword because he's always in there. But like she has, I think, 3 other mods, all of which had to have been in there for a few months, had to be talkative. And then with hers, you actually have to put in mod applications on her Discord. And her lead mod has to give the okay or denial to people who put in their applications.
That's actually very smart to do it that way.
Yeah, I think I might, one of these days, I might think about just doing that. Have, like, the 2 people I know are in there the most, and then have them select maybe 2 or 3 more in case they're not there. And those will be, like, my core mods moving forward. It's a really smart idea.
That's very smart.
So with that, what would you say the first 5 words or the first phrase that comes to mind when you think of the community as a whole?
The community as a whole. So, I mean, Robbie pressed on it a little bit, and, you know, I agree with the things he was saying. When it comes to the community, you really just have to do your due diligence when it comes to finding those core, genuine people. As a whole, I would say that the community is very uplifting, inspiring, genuine. But then you do have the people that unfortunately, aren't of the same character, or put off a fake character for people. And you kind of want to steer clear of that type of energy, that type of atmosphere, just because it does cause division, it causes toxicity within the community, and it doesn't bring on a good light, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I pretty much just try and stay with the people that are the words that I said, genuine, uplifting, inspiring, wants everybody to succeed. It's not, there isn't selfishness involved. There isn't, the limelight has to be on that specific person, or, so I'm pretty much, I believe there's so much good in this community, but at the same time, I do feel that the division and toxicity that some people like to cause puts a bad light on it.
Thank you for the follow, or the lurk, Rogue Pixie. I appreciate it. But yeah, I'd say that's, like I said to him, pretty accurate. I think there's obviously an overwhelming amount of good people. However, there's unfortunately also a lot of people near the top, I think, that are a little bit manipulative.
Yeah, that's a perfect word, actually.
And obviously, I don't get involved in the actual drama, but from what I've heard, there's plenty of drama up top, and unfortunately, shit trickles downhill. So.
Right. Well, I just feel like there's a lot of people that pull the wool over their eyes. So that it's almost like, well, if I can't, they just continue to pull the wool over their eyes, so that it's like, I don't see it, so it's not happening type of thing, even though, it is happening. So, and,
yeah, it's pretty obvious.
Right. So, I'm steering clear of it. That's why I run a very tight ship. I keep my circle small. I keep who I know is genuine and, of good character, in my circle. And, and that's all you really can do. Like I said, birds of a feather flock together. So,
yeah.
If everybody can just remember that, then you'll understand, the different people and the different characters that those people, hang out with. So that's pretty much how it is in this community.
Yeah, and a lot of the people I know of in the community, obviously, like you both mentioned, there's a lot of good in the community. People like Up and Adam, Dino, Luch, Murphy B. There's plenty of those type of people in the community, but for every one of them, there's at least one person on the opposite end that is either secretly a bad person or has some type of ulterior motive, unfortunately. But I think that the light within the community is a bit too bright for the dark members of it, and hopefully when those guys come to light, it'll be back to what it was the first, like,
Right.
6 months it was around.
Exactly.
Hey, what's up, Silent
Exactly.
Ninja? How you doing? Speaking of a good guy, Silent Ninja's in here.
Hi, Silent Ninja. That's actually a new name for me.
He was actually in the beginning slot of people. He streamed, I know he streamed before it, but when I was in the community, when I first started in April of 2020, he was actually one of the, like, main names that were in the community at the time in terms of people that everyone would talk about and people who was in everyone's chats. And I think he streamed for like 5 to 6 months, I think, and then he had to put it on pause because he was having another kid, I think it was.
Okay.
And
Family
he just
first.
came back recently
Understandable.
for some MLB and for Madden 22. So,
Nice.
what's up, everybody? We are interviewing the R0bs right now, and you happen to be in the right place. We want to hear some good conversation. And Silent Ninja is also a Raider fan, much like Taco and a few other people in the community. When we
As
were,
long as it's not the Eagles or the Cowboys,
as long as it's
I'm
not
fine
the
with
Eagles
it.
or the Cowboys, yeah, that's everyone's answer is as long as it's not the Cowboys. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ninja was one of the people when this first started. He'd like spotlight streamers on his Twitter and would, you know, promote them, you know, to get some more viewership, get more genuine people in their chats. And he was one of the first people that were like super generous within the community from the start of it. And then he was more generous with like advice and hanging out and all that type of stuff. And that's what I feel like a lot of streamers right now definitely do need, is someone like Silent Ninja who's good with advice and stuff.
Right. I mean, it's not always about money, right? So, like, I just want somebody's time. You know, to me, that's the most valuable thing that you can give is somebody's time.
That's
So,
like what I say is I would rather have 3 or 4 people in my chat that are constantly talking and actually want to be here than to have 40 with 2 people chatting.
exactly. Because at the end of the day, like, what is your stream if the chat is not moving?
Oh, hey, Lag
Because
Matt.
people
Thanks for the lurk, my
want
friend.
to come in.
I definitely was wondering who Life's a Gamble was, but thank you for clarifying that. But yeah, that's...
People like to come into a stream and, you know, chalk it up in the chat, right? Because
yeah,
they want it to be interactive, you know? People aren't going to be gravitating towards a stream where there's nothing, right?
with somebody sitting there
there's nothing
talking
happening.
monotone and not really like talking to chat, that's something that nobody's going to be in for because there's no emotion to it. There's
Right,
nothing that
exactly.
proves they actually care that you're in there. That's why I think Sapper and a few others, they're like, that's one of the things they like about mine. I constantly talk to whoever's in my chat. I make sure I greet everyone individually, and anyone who says anything in chat that I could respond to, I'll typically respond to, and I just try to make sure everyone knows
That's
I'm,
what
you know...
makes a good streamer. That's what makes a good streamer, is somebody that can communicate.
Like, I don't have the highest energy, obviously. I'm not screaming at the top of my lungs or anything like that, but I'm proving I'm caring about who's in my chat, and I think that's a very key factor in if people stick around or not.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with that.
Okay, so with that question, I'm going to move on to because obviously those were the 3 questions I let you guys know were going to happen before we started. So let me go ahead and toss out the off-the-cuff type of questions. So obviously a lot of things that streamers do is obviously they play a lot of different games, or they play one game pretty consistently. They sit still for quite a while unless they have a will be back screen, then they go do whatever they gotta do and they come back. So my question to you is, because obviously there's a lot of talking when you're streaming, what is your go-to drink when you're on stream?
my go-to drink.
Yeah, like Gatorade, water, whatever it may be.
9 times out of 10, it's an iced coffee.
Iced coffee. Is there a specific brand you prefer, specific flavor you prefer?
So I usually make them at home because obviously I'm not going to spend $7 on a Starbucks iced coffee every day.
Yeah, obviously.
So I bought like the Amazon Starbucks reusable cups with like the green straws and everything off of Amazon. And I literally just make my own iced coffee at home. So I'll just buy the chilled Starbucks iced coffee from, Walmart. And I'll get that. I'll do ice. I'll get the caramel drizzle and whatever creamer I want, and I make it right at home, and it's it saves me $7.
Hey, $7 adds up over time, especially if it's pretty consistent.
Exactly, $7 a day. I mean, it adds up. So.
You gotta think, $7 a day for 30 days, $210. That's a lot. That's a lot just for coffee.
And I used to do it, and then I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm doing this every day. Like, this is like addiction at this point. Like, let me just cut my cost and make them at home. So,
like, I have a Keurig myself. I just got it a little bit more recently, and then, like, basically 2 weeks after I got it, my actual coffee maker stopped working, so I had to toss that. And obviously now I have a Keurig, so I buy the K-Cups. I'm probably going to buy a reusable one pretty soon so I can start using, just grind coffee, my own ground coffee or whatever. But,
yeah, we used to do that too with our Keurig.
But there's like a couple things, like there's the donut shop, I think, flavor that I can't find anywhere but with K-Cups. So when I want those, I'll have to buy those. But yeah, I'd say if we didn't have like coffee makers and like if my main drink of choice was a coffee, I'd still have to spend $4 or $5 at a lot of places, and that's way too expensive. But luckily for me, some of the other cheaper places are actually open for business again, so I'll be able to get my cups of coffee if I ever stream like in the morning for like $1.50, $2.
Right, exactly, which is much more reasonable.
Okay, so now, obviously, a lot of what streamers do when they get off stream is they raid or host somebody, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who would you say, if you had to name someone off the top of your head, maybe someone that's a little smaller or someone that is very entertaining, if you had to pick a raid spot, do you have a person like that in mind that you'd send it to, like, every day when you hop off stream, or do you actually have to scroll through the directory to find somebody?
So honestly, I follow a lot of people, and so normally when I'm about to raid out, I'll usually go on my viewer list, and whoever I see has the least amount of viewers is who I will raid out to, and then that's usually how I do it.
Okay, so you have like a list.
It's been a minute since I've actually gone on Twitch itself and just raided out to a random person. I haven't done that in a while, which I actually should start doing that again.
So you make
just
like
it
a list
your
of
name
people?
out to different viewers. Say that again?
So you have like a list of people, right?
No, I don't have a list of people where I'm like, okay, this is who I'm gonna do it to. It's literally just the luck of the draw on who I choose. It's usually the person that has the least amount of viewers, though.
All right, I can see that. I'd say when I raid out, typically I do go through the directory first to see because I normally have 2 or 3 people in mind that I want to raid when I hop off, and if those 2 or 3 people are not online, then I kind of just, if there's enough people in chat, then I just ask them who they want, who they have in mind, who has low viewers on their list, or whatever the case may be. Or if there's somebody, even if they have a bit higher viewers in their chat at the moment, I'll still be like, oh well, this is the lowest person in the community, I'll just send it off to them. And
that's a good way to do it also.
A lot of times, like for example, when I'd hop off, say today, right? if I were to hop off right now, I have a couple people in mind, but none of them would probably be on. So then I'd be like, okay, who's the lowest spot in the community right now that's streaming, and I'll just rate it off to them. But when I'm hopping off at 5 or 6, I have quite a few options of people normally. I think I've sent it off to people like Rowdy. I've sent it to RoboTeach once or twice. There's a lot of people in the community that are coming back from streaming too, or from a break off of streaming. And so if I see them on, I typically toss them the raid because they're either just coming back or they're lower down or whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely like to spread the raids around. Like I raid Wolfie to the max once, and at least once a week when I know she's going to be on if I'm hopping off. She's very good with her chat interactions and stuff like that, so I figured if people like my chat interactions, they'll probably like hers too.
Right.
Oh, somebody
That
just
makes sense.
friended me.
Yeah, I pretty much spread my raids around. It's never particularly like just the same group of people. So it's usually always somebody different.
Yeah, and that's the way I try to do things. Okay, well that's weird. Hold on one second. Somebody just messaged me and I have no idea who the hell they are.
Gotta love it.
Yeah, I hate people that do that. It's like, I get it. It just randomly they started talking again. That's pretty weird. Yeah, I just got a friend request, and it's like, who the hell is this? It doesn't seem like it's anybody in chat, though, because I'm pretty sure I have everybody in chat already. Or some of them are obviously on Xbox, so I wouldn't have them. Okay, so is there any time that you already have a good portion of, like, say your week of games? Do you typically have your games already figured out for the days you stream, or do you do more of a last second type deal?
Yeah, so lately I've kind of been changing it. I mean, some streams lately I've just literally have just been in just chatting. So for 2.5 hours of me and the chat are just talking.
That's really tough to do too, to have a 2 hour just chatting.
Yeah. So that just means the chat's going, everybody's in conversation, and we're talking about random things. You know what I mean? And so sometimes I don't even play a game. And actually, I like streams like that, where you could just be on there talking about,
Like, with me, I'd love to do that, but I don't have a PC set up for that yet. So that's what these podcasts are kind of going to be once I get on an actual PC. They're going to be my just chatting type of deals. But right now I need something up on the screen that people can actually pay attention to as well if they want to watch something go on too.
Yeah.
This is kind of what that is. Like right now I'm drafting players right now for the Giants, and it's just while I'm talking. I don't really have to think too much about it. I just have to look at grades, and that's what makes when I do these, I literally sim the entire year, and then we just do re-signings and draftings while I'm talking. So it's not something I have to think too much about.
Right. Yeah, so I don't really have a plan. I mean, there's some days where, a couple friends will message me on Snapchat or Facebook Messenger and say, hey, do you want to jump on DVD? And I'll jump on stream, and I know that's the game I'm going to be playing. But now that Madden came out, mind you, it's my first season playing Madden. Started playing yesterday. It's gonna take a minute, but we're getting there.
We're getting there. That's good though.
It's a process. It's been a process, but I mean, I like to try new things, and
like I said with my like I said with my, variety streaming thing, I like doing different things every day. So.
Yeah, I don't want to. My whole thing is like, you know how you'll have those certain streamers that are literally only playing games because that's what's popular right now, right? So they think that's what's gonna get them more viewers, is if they play just that one game that's poppin'. That's the it game, and that's what they stick to, even though they can't stand the game, right?
That's one of the things that kind of pushed me out of doing Madden a lot this season is a lot of people, it definitely was very apparent that they really only really played Madden because it's what everybody will come in to watch. It was pretty obvious they weren't actually enjoying it. They were just playing it because it's like, oh, people will come in here and watch me. And
right.
I don't want that to be how my channel is. I don't want to feel like I have to play MUT when I don't enjoy playing other people that much in MUT, because there's a lot of toxic people.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm doing like the stream team and stuff like that I don't have to be online and deal with other players with. It's literally people in the community that I put onto a team and I use them. And it's like,
right, exactly.
If people really want to support you, they shouldn't care what you're playing.
Right. And it's not even about, like, because at the end of the day, we're not a skimbo, right? So
yeah.
This streaming isn't paying our bills, per se. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, my streaming is not paying my bills. So, in my mind, I'm doing this to have fun. And yes, if I'm blessed to earn something from it, like, thank you, like, that's awesome. But I know in my mind, like, this isn't my livelihood, right?
Yeah.
So it's not paying my bills. So I know people aren't coming because they enjoy Dead by Daylight, right? Most people don't really care about that game. They want to come because of me, because they like me.
Yeah, and that's pretty important to me too. Like, I don't want to play a game I don't enjoy. And I know that if the real ones are going to show up no matter what I play. And people like you, Artem, Sapper, Rob at times would come in pretty early on, but I know he's pretty busy too, so I don't worry too much about who specifically comes in. But those who show effort when they come in, they talk, even for a little bit, it's like, see, these are the real people. These are the ones that want to be part of the journey with me. And like you said, there definitely is not, there's definitely not, a way that you can phrase it any differently. If people don't show up for whatever it is you're streaming, then they don't actually care about your streams. They care about what you play,
Right, exactly.
Speaking of Dead by Daylight, I still have to finish downloading that, and you still have to show me how to play.
Yes, and I was talking before, but I guess you couldn't hear me at that time when I said I'm still waiting on that because we still need to play.
Yeah, that was when we first started, and you couldn't hear me, or I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on. Discord was playing us.
Discord was selling our bag, so to speak.
Kind of piggyback off of kind of a small thing that was being brought up as far as people coming into the chats and stuff like that. What I will say when it comes to growing on Twitch and becoming partnered is I feel like when you get partnered, or if a lot of people get partnered, a lot of people change, and some do not, but a good portion of people do change. Like, this is how I look at it. A lot of people that were growing or are in some of the positions that the majority of the people on Twitch that are trying to grow and get to that point, and stuff like that. People were there at one point. They were trying to build something, and they had people that were coming in and supporting them and always there and hanging out. If you're somebody that streams and that's your job, right? That's your job. That's what you do. Make it a point to really go. And I'm not saying this to where, that you need to go and you need to give subs or give bits or something like that. Like,
Okay, hold that thought.
Artem,
Hold that thought for just a second. Artem, thanks for the 3-month subscription, my friend. Thank you for popping in. Hopefully you are enjoying if you've been around a little bit. And
There's my third guy.
hopefully you got some questions for these folks too, so I can add a little bit more things to ask. Obviously Chelsea and Rob are here, so if you want to say anything to them, you can obviously type it in chat and they'll probably see it. Sorry for interrupting, Rob. You can continue.
No, you're good. So let's just say, for argument's sake, like, Artem's given me, like, 1,000 subs in my channel, and, eventually I got, partnered and stuff like that, and I'm, doing fairly well, and that's what I do for a job, and then he starts streaming, and I don't show up in his chats, or I barely go through, or I've never shown up at all. To me, if streaming is my job and that's what I do, I feel like there should be a time that you should fit into your daily schedule, whether it's 30 minutes or 45 minutes or 10 minutes or an hour, whatever it is, to where you go in and, if whoever's on at that time, you go in there and you show some love, you show some support, you type in there. Even if you're going in there and you're talking for a couple of minutes and you shoot a few messages and you do this and you do that, I feel like that's very important. For somebody like myself, I actually feel like I get into a large portion of streams, and it's a wide range of people that I go into, and I also stream, and I work a full-time job. I work 40 hours a week, Monday through Friday, soon to be Wednesday through Saturday and Mondays, and I make it a point to get in and go into streams and say hello and stuff like that. And if I were to ever, down the line, or in partnership, and get to a point where, that wouldn't change, and if I ever got to the point where I was partnered and I was able to just stream and make a living for myself, I would have time to go ahead and be in people's chats and stuff like that, because I would probably take an hour of my day and go and spend time in some chats and talk it up and stuff like that, or whatever the case may be. I mean, there's people that I've seen that I've yet to see them in streams, but like people's streams that I've seen, like that are streaming.
Right, and I have to just piggyback off of that, Rob, because my thing is that, right, you see huge supporters in people's streams, right? Like, they're the number one gifters, they're the number one people that have been there, and then
yeah, like example of that is me and Murphy D stream. That's a good example of that. I'm in the top of his leaderboard, and I don't show up just to throw shit around and, whatever. I typically stay in there for a solid 30, 40 minutes before I jump out.
Right, it's like, you know what I mean? It's just like, just to be able to see, like, those people being the supporters they are, like, just show up in that person's stream, like, you know what I mean? Like, show your face. That, and it irks me when I see that huge supporters of somebody's stream, and that streamer can't take 5, 10, 15 minutes of their day to show just their face, and just to be like, hey, like, I appreciate your generosity that you've shown. Like, I appreciate that. Like, and it takes me back a little bit, just because it's like, I see Rob and me, and Rob works 40 plus hours a week, plus is a full-time streamer, Monday through Friday, right, and weekends, when he gets on the weekends. So it's like, there's no way that you're telling me that if your job is streaming, and you take 4 hours a day, and you're on stream, and what are you doing for the rest of it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
why is it that you can't show your face and small streamers that have been supporting your channel? Like, I just don't understand that.
And it's not me, and I'll let you take out in a second. I just want to. Now, me making this comment is not like pointing fingers at anybody, but
no, it's just in general.
And what I was just and what I was meaning by this is that, you know, to those people, whether you know about it or you don't know, care or whatever, I meant it to the point that it means a lot to those. Like, you know, for somebody that's gifted a 1,000 subs in somebody's channel, okay, that's not a small chunk of money. You know, that's a large amount of money.
I mean, 50's $300, so do the math.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a. Now that person has done that. Now, you know, when you think about it, say Art, you know, gifted me 1,000 subs. That's a huge amount of money. And if he started streaming and I never showed my face in his chat or barely went in there, it's basically like I stole that money and ran away. You know?
Yeah.
But showing up to that person's stream, whether it's once or twice a week or something like that or whatever, it makes that person feel that they
are appreciated.
That they're appreciated, but their investment that they made to help support you and support your bills, right? If you're streaming and you're streaming full time and that's what's paying your bills, that person contributed to paying your rent, contributed to paying your electric bill, water bill so that you could bathe and wash your clothes, your electric, your internet bill so that you could actually do your job, right? Which is streaming. They contributed to that. So be sure, like, if anybody is partnered or whatever, and you haven't made it to some people that, whether it's 5 subs, 1 sub, 10 subs, 800 subs, 1,000 subs, 5,000 subs, whatever it is, make a point to just make it into those streams. It means the world to those people because at that point they feel like you care about what they've done, and that it's also going to make them feel that their investment into you was a good investment because you showed up and just gave them love. You know what I mean?
Not only that, but those people, right? Those people are your main supporters of your channel. Like, where would your channel be if you didn't have those people that are gifting you 800, 1,000 subs? Like, where would your channel be?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So, like, those are the people that you need to be showing up for. Those are the people you need to be showing up for. End of story. And that's how I feel about it.
Yeah,
like, I show up to everybody's streams, even if I don't even get a sub from them. Like, I'm going to show up because, you know what? At the end of the day, like, if you're showing me your time, like, why can't I show you my time? I'm going to show you my time. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
I mean, that, and I'm passionate about it because that's how I feel like, I don't know, I'm cut from a different cloth. I hold myself to a different standard. My character is different than a lot of people, and in situations like that, you can tell the character of a person.
Yeah, most definitely. Winders, thank you for the 2-month subscription, my friend. I greatly appreciate it. And apparently you're stalking Artem. Have fun with that. Winders is one of those people that I see everywhere.
Oh, I see Winders everywhere.
Him, Artem.
I don't see him too often in my stream, and that's okay. You know, I can still give him shit about it. But yeah, no, you'll see him throughout the community.
A good example of people who, like, even if you just, like, subscribe to them or you just pay a lot of, time in their channel, basically. Some of the people I've personally had in chat that I've been in their chats or subscribed to them for a while or whatever the case may be that almost always show up is Up and Adam's in here quite often. CJ Sauce is in here quite often. Murphy D was in here quite a bit too. I think I had Luch in here a few times. And then the newer guy in the community, he's obviously the professional football player, Darrington Evans, for the Titans.
Oh, okay.
He's even been in my chat. And then there's people who I've been there since day 1, basically, that has almost never been in here. And obviously, like you said, it really shows who cares about your channel and who cares about you and Who cares about your growth, you know?
Right, and who appreciates, you know. I mean, what's crazy to me is all the names that you named that go into your channel, they all have full-time jobs on top of streaming.
Yeah, Murphy D, teacher, I believe. Up and Adam's a teacher, I'm pretty sure.
Teacher.
What's
CJ,
Luch?
CJ Salt. I'm not sure what CJ does, but he does work a full-time job. And it's just like, but everybody can show time, right? They can show their face. But then you have some people that their only job is streaming, right? Streaming. But you can't. You don't see them.
Yeah, it's
I don't get it. I don't get it.
You're on Twitch all the time anyways. It's you know, your actual job. It's your well-being.
Yeah.
And so you stream for your 5-6 hours, whatever time frame you got. And then all of a sudden you're just like, well, I can't really hang out in anybody's chat after I'm done with this raid, though.
Right.
So it's like,
right.
Bro, you know, we're supposed to be this best family on Twitch and all that, but there's been times when it feels like certain people don't care about the family aspect of it.
I think that what happens is they get bigger, right? So like, you know what I mean? And they get
thanks
to a
for the
place where
host,
they feel like
Life's a Gamble. Thanks for that, and thanks for the raid too.
They feel like they don't need to do those things anymore. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it's like they got
until they get to where they want to be. But then once they get there, they kind of forget about all the people that helped them get there.
Good example of that is someone like I'm going to use a professional football player, Antonio Brown. He became super toxic the last couple seasons, and he basically said, fuck everybody that helped me get successful, basically. And that's what this feels like when streamers don't jump into other people's chats. It's like, they helped you get where you are just as much as whatever you're doing is, Oh, and I guess Winders said Luch and CJ do finance.
Okay.
But yeah, it definitely shows people character. And
right, it shows a person's character. 155%. Because there's no way that I can have 4 children, right? 4 children.
Yeah. You got to keep a house clean. You got to keep the kids, good. You have a full-time job.
I have to take care of. And I'm still everywhere in chats, right?
Yeah, it's like
everywhere. Everybody sees me.
Wrangling 4 kids around and taking care of a house and making sure dinner's on the table for your family and streaming and still being around. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. You can. You guys have both probably noticed it. If you scroll through my Twitter page, it's either me posting something about football, me posting my links, or me posting other people's links and saying, "Oh, go check these guys out." It's a constant with me. When I'm active, when I'm actually posting people's stuff, when I see their videos, I make sure I put their links out on Twitter so those who maybe didn't get the noti or whatever can go in there, check it out, show them love, and maybe even get them some extra followers or subscribers that they didn't have. And I do the same thing with their TikToks.
Right, because we're on the same wavelength when it comes to our thinking on it. So me and Rob's thing is, listen, if we go to the top, we're bringing everybody with us, right? Everybody that helped, everybody that's been there, we're all eating, if that makes sense. So we're
all trying to do the same thing. We're all trying to entertain people. We're all trying to just make people know that they are welcome for in chat and for who they are, and we'll support them in however way we can, and they can support us back or whatever. And unfortunately, not everyone has that thought process.
No, they don't, and it's unfortunate, and that's why Twitch can be so much more than what it is. But it's hard when you have people that don't think like that, or have the same character as others. You know what I mean?
The thing with it is, and I've always said this. Look, at the end of the day, it's no secret. Subs, bits, donations, that helps us stream, especially for somebody that is looking to make it a career and to do things, and if you're vocalizing that, like I vocalize that very, very, quite often, that this is something that I'm looking to do as a career, right? Now, whether people want to invest in that or not, that's up to them. I'm not sitting here asking, but in my mind, like, I have all of these things that I want to do, and a lot of things that I've done, like, I've invested out of my own pocket, doing t-shirt giveaways, giving gift card giveaways, and stuff like that. Those are things that I took out of my pocket to do, and whenever you're trying to build a business, you're always going to invest some of your own money. It's not to where you're just going to immediately get a return on it. But one of the things that I will say, and that I've always said this, I've been saying this probably for the last 4 years since I've been streaming, the one thing that is not refundable, the one thing that means the most, the one thing that would mean probably more to me, and I don't know how other people would feel about it, but the one thing to me that's most important than subs, than bits, than donations, or whatever the case may be, is time. Somebody could go ahead and donate me $20, $100, and charge that back. Somebody could go ahead and gift me 5 subs, 10 subs, 50 subs, and somehow get that money back or get that money refunded back to them.
Okay.
But you cannot refund time. If somebody came in and spent 5 minutes of my chat, 10 minutes of my chat, a half hour of my chat, 2 hours of my chat, that's 2 hours that they chose to spend in my chat than somebody else's, and be a part of what I have going on. And getting to know me, and getting to know my family, and getting to know what makes me hit that go live button. Why am I doing this? What's the motivation behind it? What's the purpose behind it? And that's what makes people start to contribute, because this man, he wants to he wants to grow his channel, or somebody's streaming and he wants to support his kids, or like DC Brooks. DC Brooks is streaming, and everything that he earns goes to his autistic daughter. Like, that's amazing.
That's like
amazing.
Winders mentions, what if somebody's only on a mobile device, is constantly traveling, and can't really get around? My answer to that, Winders, is it doesn't so much matter about how many tabs you have or whatever. Just pop in, say hi, how's it going? That's all. Like, that's honestly all I ask for, is for you to say hi and how am I doing, anything past that is extra to me. And I think these two can both agree that just
I agree. 100%.
One thing is all we really want, is for you to say hi and enjoy yourself.
For me, in Winders, and if you can, I don't know if they can hear us or not, but
hold on, Ninja, you can hear us, right? You can hear Rob and them too.
What I will say to that Winders too is that
all right, Silent Ninja says he can hear you guys, so
cool. So what I'll say to that too, Winders, is for me, I know that you're delivering the fuck out of them packages. You know what I'm saying, and being sexy about it, but for me also, like, and I've taken a step back from really being on my phone and going in chats and stuff like that to try to limit my distractions while I'm working, because that's where I'm making my money from. That's how I'm supporting my family, and and really it took a scare that I'm still not out of the woodworks with yet, but it took a scare to really kind of realize, like, hey, this is how I'm supporting my family. Yeah, I'm streaming and everything like that, and I get I get subs and I have a Twitch check coming in, and that contributes, but the majority of my money comes from my job, and that's where I need my focus to be. But when I was on my phone, I would pop in, talk for a couple of minutes. Sometimes I'd have one of my earbuds in, and I'd be in there and I'd listen. Or I have my TV, I've got my work phone that has Twitch on it, I've got my phone that has Twitch on it, and I've got no audio on there, but I say a couple of things so that I count as a viewer, and then I lower down the volume, and I focus on my work. It's not. But everybody's got their job, and this is not saying like, oh, hey, if you're not coming in my chat, or you're not spending time in my chat, then you don't want to support me. and I don't want you to take it that way, Winners, in any way, shape, or form. Everybody's got their job. Everybody's got their job. Everybody has things that they do. The main part of this whole conversation, or how we went into this direction, was really talking about those people that they do stream for a living, or you know, that's what they do, and they have a lot more time on their hands than somebody that works a full-time job and streams and does this and does that. A lot of times people can't get into a lot of chats. Like, I see CJ get in when he can. I see Adam get in when he can. But people know, I see Murphy get in when he can. Those guys are working and streaming and doing YouTube and doing all of that stuff. And so, but when somebody is legitimately just streaming, and they would probably all agree, those people, that if they were just streaming, they would have so much more time to be involved or get into other people's chats and everything like that, more so. I mean, CJ talks about all the time management. He's working on his time management. He talks about it all the time. So it's those that have the time, that do this for a living, and that work from home, right? And you barely see them in some of the people's chats that are supporting them in a hard and a long and a big way. And like I said, it's just about going in there and just saying a few words and making that person feel that what they invested to you, what they took out of their paycheck to basically give to you, is no different than you going to somebody and saying, hey man, I'm short this month, you know, my light bill. It's no different than firing up a stream and saying, yeah guys, you know, I'm short this month, man, I'm $200 short paying my electric bill, and then somebody just hits the donate button and donates you $200 so that you can pay your bill. At the end of the day, anybody that donates, anybody that's contributed, whether it's bits, gifted subs, PayPal donations, they are contributing to you, continuing to keep your lights on, your internet paid, so that you can do this job, which is stream. And that's what they're doing. And the fact that some people don't even go into some of their top supporter streams, or some people just don't go into, you know, some people that have supported them in their streams at all, it's sad, and it can be disheartening for those people themselves. And that's why I said, just go in there, show some love. Hey, how are you doing? Or whatever. Or maybe retweet their tweet, or like their tweet, or something like that. Just, you know, even if you can't get in there, maybe you're busy, like their tweet, retweet it, or something like that. Maybe take a second to go check this guy out, or whatever, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it goes a long way. It makes them feel that their investment to that person was worth it, because that's really what people are doing. They're making a financial investment on those people and helping them financially support their job.
Okay.
It's not.
Winders mentions this. Winders mentions in chat. He thinks he has PTSD from certain people in the community thinking I need to be tabbed up, making me nervous to even say hi and then leave. Those are the people you probably shouldn't watch anymore. If they demand you tab up, if they demand it, don't give it to them.
Yeah, no.
Like, for me, if you put lurk or you put tab, I'm like, oh, okay, thank you, man, thanks for tabbing me, you know, because I don't think anyone has to even be here, and anybody who's here for any period of time, I respect them for and appreciate them for giving me any of their time, even if it's just being tabbed. You know.
There should never be you shouldn't be obligated to feel like you have to have a tab up, or you know, you should never feel that way. The people you should be surrounding yourself with are people that are good-hearted, genuine people that just want to see you once in a while and say hello. You know?
Yeah.
You should never feel like it's a job to make sure that you have a certain person tabbed up. Like, you build relationships with these people. You know, you build friendships. So it's like stopping by and saying, you know, it's like almost like texting somebody, but instead you're stopping by their stream and saying hello. You know, you should never feel obligated, though. If anybody makes you feel that way, I don't think you're running with the right circle of
You should probably
of
unfollow
people.
them and stop watching them, because at that point they act as if you're required to. You like signed on, you have to do it, and that's just not cool to do.
That's not how.
What's up,
you
the
should
animal?
feel
How you
that
doing,
way.
man?
Now, don't get it twisted, Winders. You better be showing up to my chat, okay?
Oh yeah,
Don't get twisted.
Rob will break your fucking legs if you don't show up to his chat. Don't test him.
I'll break your freaking neck.
He'll be like, get back here, or get back here, Winders. I'll beat your ass. Get back in this chat. He's like, totally agree. I'm not sure what he's agreeing with, but we're just gonna roll with it. Okay, so obviously you guys both, Chelsea, more recently starting Madden. This is your first game, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're kind of just starting, and you're probably starting on one of the better Maddens to do in the past like 3-4 years. So that helps. And obviously, Rob, you've been streaming since you said Madden 15.
Yeah.
So you've been a Madden streamer for a while. So obviously we all know that there are certain like glitchy type of positions and gaps and all that stuff people can do to cheat the game a little bit. What advice would Rob? What advice would you give a new Madden player this season if they were to be doing if they were to decide to do MUT this year? What would be your advice to them?
Not drop the ChatGPT. That's the first thing I would probably say.
No.
The advice that I would probably definitely give, especially it depends on what console that they're on. If you're on a next gen console, some of the advice that I would definitely probably give would be, really kind of get in and get used to the movement, get used to the controls, get some certain things down, and mainly the big thing is watch. So go and watch guys like W, watch guys like Skimbo, Poppin. I'll say this: last year, and my wife will agree. Last year, when I was kind of like into Madden a little bit, there was not a night that went by when W was not on my TV when I fell asleep. I was watching W every single night. One, because it's great entertainment. Okay, and at the same point, I feel like he's very knowledgeable about the game and things to do. So find people, watch them, learn from them, and stuff like that. Hang out in their chat, and maybe that W might not be the person to ask, the question in the chat, but maybe ask them. I know one person that I will definitely say is great to watch is Zan. Zan is an awesome person to watch because when you watch him, he explains everything. Why he's making the adjustments. What's the person doing? What is he going to do to try to take this away? And that was one reason why I really enjoyed watching Iron when I was into Warzone, was because they basically did like educational commentaries while the game was going on, talking about, okay, I need to move here, I need to take this position here, okay, I've got this, I need this. So Zan is really, really good with that. So, advice that I would give is play the game, get used to it, find somebody, that's on your type of console. Don't go and watch somebody that's on next gen if you're on old gen, and really just learn. And then ask questions, figure things out and whatnot, and try to learn from that. There's always going to be, and one thing that I had to come to agreement on is that at the end of the day, it's a video game. It's never going to be perfect. There's always going to be glitches. There's always going to be this. And I was always a firm, believer that, people that are just going to be guy's got 2 fucking kids that he's supporting and everything like that. He's got to think of himself. He has to think of himself. He has to think about what's going to give him the best benefit to support his family. Not about, doing this or doing that. He had to make the best decision for him. And for people to think, that he made a mistake or he did this or he did that, you can't say that. That's your opinion. You can have it. But at the same time, that man's got a family. That man's got a wife. He's got 2 kids that he's got to support. And he has to make the best decision what's good for him and for his family. Period. End of story. No question about it. So just learn, play, adjust, watch, ask questions, figure it out. And you can go on YouTube. Check out guys like Eric Wayweather. He has some good content that comes out that you can watch, and he'll show you some coverages. Stick and D-Lo, they make some YouTube. I'll be honest with you, a really good guy that you could go, and I wouldn't necessarily say he's a super small streamer. He's a medium-sized streamer. Johnny Madden TV, probably one of my best friends in the community. If you go in there and you watch his stream and he plays Madden, he does some crazy shit. But if you ask him a question, hey man, how do I do this? How do I do that? He'll answer your question. He'll answer you and stuff like that. He's helped me a tremendous amount, as far as like learning things, teaching me certain things and whatnot when he really didn't have to. But those would be the people. Find those guys that are decent at the game, and that are good, genuine-hearted people, and ask them questions. They'll answer the questions for you, and they'll help you out.
Johnny Madden, I actually, I've hosted him almost every day. He's been live for, the last, probably 8-9 months, because his content's really good. He himself is a great person, and he does help people get better at the game when they're just starting or if they're slightly more veteran and just don't understand some of the ways to maybe combat some of the more glitchy things. He helps people, counter those, and he's just a good guy all around. I've had some good conversations with him. Okay, Blue mentioned that audio cut out for a second, but luckily I only had to re-plug in the mic and then it ended up working, so I don't think much of that speech was lost or anything. So then after that, right? Maybe 20. Okay, yeah, we lost it for 20 seconds, I guess, but it didn't lose too much. Okay, so then you have, another really important part of being a streamer is obviously your mods, right? Mods are probably, aside from, being genuine and not caring too much about the money and stuff like that, the most valuable asset to a streamer is what mods are in his chat. His or her chat. And I'm pretty sure that you guys both have very trustworthy mods, very good mods, because I'm pretty sure you guys pick them out pretty much based on who is actually close to you, who you know the most, and that type of stuff. And then there's me, who I haven't met anybody in the community face to face or anything like that before. So I just base it off of who I talk to the most, who I get a good enough character assessment from, basically. But if you guys had to give advice to new streamers of how to pick your mods, how would you go about explaining it? Chelsea, I'm going to have you answer this one.
I would say you want to find people who are consistent, right? So consistency is key when it comes to picking mods, and they have to be there, right? So they have to show consistency. They have to be trustworthy. They have to be somebody that because at the end of the day, a mod has control of part of your channel. So you can't just really be throwing swords around to people that you aren't familiar with and that you don't have a relationship with. So I would say consistency and trustworthiness. People that that know how to handle the role as a mod, because you can have people that are consistent and are trustworthy, but they have no idea what being a mod is.
Great example of a great mod is literally in chat right now. Blue, you're my boy.
Blue, you're my boy. Yeah, he's been in my stream before.
Definitely one of the best. I'd say top. Like Winder said, top 10. Blue said top 5. I'd say top 7 mods anyone could possibly have. I don't know if he's one of your mods or anything like that, but I know
I don't think so.
I know he's modded in a lot of channels, and he actually helps me add my commands and stuff when I don't know how to. So, yeah, he helps people get their channels set up when they first, start, and he helps their commands get put into place and all that, and he's really good at, that aspect of things. And he's definitely in a lot of chats that he does mod. He's in there when he can be, and that's all you can really ask a mod to do is be there when they can. So.
Right, exactly.
But like what you said with how many people you follow and all that, it's difficult to get into everyone's chat even when you have all day, but you don't have to get in there and talk for like an hour in each stream. You don't have to do that. You just have to pop in and say hi.
Right, that's it.
And
hey, how's your day going?
Even 10 seconds is valuable because you can't get it back. I kind of missed the boat on the R0bs. They were all set up by the time I found them. Okay, so that makes sense.
Yeah, we were pretty established when I think we met him.
Yeah, but he's definitely somebody if you ever need like a replacement mod or something like that. He's definitely a name that a lot of people need to keep in their heads because he's probably the best when it comes to behind the scenes modding on Twitch.
Right.
Okay, so we got the mod situation talked about. We got the drink situation talked about. Do you have like a pre-stream ritual that you guys would do before you hopped on? Is there like a certain thing you'd eat, drink, a basic thing that you'd want to do before you hop on? Is there anything that you have to do before you stream every day or every other day or however your stream schedule works out that you have to do before you hit that like button?
I would probably say for me, when I get up in the morning, my regular, routine, getting up in the morning and everything like that is I get up probably around, 7 o'clock, in the morning time. I get up, I come downstairs, I take my dog out, but sometimes we'll go for a walk, and stuff like that. I come inside, unload my dishwasher, load my dishwasher, turn on my coffee pot, which is a Keurig. It's not an old-fashioned coffee pot, even though sometimes I actually miss brewing coffee and stuff like that and having a Keurig. Get my dog his food, clean up down here, get my stream going. I normally would actually, what I've been trying to start doing is I would turn on my stream and go live, and I'd have a 15-minute countdown timer. But I feel like that was kind of drawing some people away, and so lately what I've been trying to do is getting my stuff ready, and then setting maybe a 4 or 5 minute timer before it starts, and I'm sitting at my table and, I'm listening to, the music that's playing, and I'm popping open tabs. But I feel like if I don't do all of that stuff and everything like that, if I don't take the dog out, if I don't do the dishes, if I I don't know, some mornings I feel like I have OCD, so it'll if I don't do those things in order or any of those things or something like that, it throws me off, and it makes me just feel weird, and stuff like that. So that's kind of I guess my pre-streaming. Now I didn't stream today, I'm probably going to stream later on tonight and stuff like that.
Yeah, because you guys were pretty busy today, if I remember. I think Chelsea ran down what all you guys were doing yesterday on stream. And from what she said, you guys had a lot of stuff you had to do.
Yeah, we did. So the boys are going to be starting school here in the next, not this coming up Monday, but the Monday after that. So we went out, we got them some shoes, clothes, and stuff like that. We were going to get their haircut, but it feels like everybody and their mother was trying to get a haircut. Then we were trying to go to breakfast. IHOP was packed. Then we went to a mom and pop place that was packed. So we went to McDonald's, and that looked like it was a little bit busy too. Then we were going to go to Chick-fil-A. That was under renovation, so we just went back to McDonald's. So it was an eventful morning. So we got back probably a little while ago, and probably about like 30 minutes before the podcast was starting and stuff like that. But I'm gonna try to get used to doing these live streams with my new schedule that's going to be coming out. My morning streams are going to be going away, and I'll be moving to night streams. So we'll be going live probably between like 7:30 and 8 o'clock, and going until like 11:30 or 12. A lot of people prefer that, and it might work out a little bit better because a lot of the bigger people are going to be streaming earlier in the day. Guys like Bendler are live in the mornings. Up and Adams live in the mornings. You have ScoMo that's live in the mornings. Especially during this new Madden season.
Isn't W live pretty early too?
Yeah, like in the beginning, like when W, like when the Madden season is in, W actually does 2 streams. So like he'll do a morning stream, and he'll do a night stream. Now I think like when it comes to like later on in the year, I think those morning streams kind of go away, and he focuses more on like the nighttime streams. But he goes live like, I wouldn't say like late, but kind of late. But he stays on pretty late.
Would you say he's kind of like Retro Yimmy when it comes to when he boots up?
Yeah, I'd probably say that. So he's kind of like that. He's on until depending on when the game is hot. Sometimes he's on till 3, 4 in the morning. There were times where when I would go to sleep and I'd wake up and he was still streaming. He was still going. At 7 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning.
And I haven't been in his chats that much. I think I've been in like 2 or 3 the time I followed him. But he definitely shows that he has a lot of dedication towards getting, showing people some entertainment, and especially with that time frame. Like Yimmy normally gets on my time anyways, like 5, 4, 6, somewhere around there. And with W, I've seen him once, I think, when I'm actually like paying attention to who's in the directory. I saw him up at like, you said like 5, 6, and then I'd wake up the next morning and he'd still be on. And it's like, holy shit, dude. That's like dedication right there. And it's tough to do that with him, I'm pretty sure he falls under the, could potentially do this for a living if he wanted to. He definitely falls under that, so there's a little bit more of a maybe pressure on him because of that, podium he's put on. But it also could just be because he loves Madden, he loves football, he loves streaming and just everything in general around it. And he proves it by having that type of schedule, because that type of schedule is fucking grueling for most people. And if you can do it consistently like that, then you're a fucking real ass entertainer right there.
Oh, 100%. He definitely, W is a type of person that he definitely, takes a lot of pride in what he's doing and making sure that it's the best content. Like he put out a little meme video, I believe a week or 2 ago, and the meme video was from a scene from The Little Giants. And it was when Madden was coming out, and it was when, they were kind of, anybody who's seen that movie, it was when I forgot the name of the kid, but he's riding in the bike, and John Madden pulls up in the Madden bus next to him, and John Madden and Bruce Smith and Emmett Smith and these guys all go over to where these guys are playing, and they start giving them coaching tips. And he had Bobby D, he had a bunch of these guys, like faces on these other players, and it was so funny. But that's just how W is. He wants things to be the best. He takes pride in his YouTube, and he really treats it and gives really, really good advice and stuff like that. And so, I definitely, that's somebody I definitely aspire to, to kind of really take a lot of reins from and learn from and try to emulate, with how he does things and why he does it and stuff like that, because he's successful with it, so that's somebody that I definitely, really enjoy watching. and definitely am going to try to emulate with the things that I do. But I'm happy with my new schedule too, because like I said, I think nighttime streams will be a lot better. Give a lot of more people the opportunity to come in, but it also give me the opportunity to catch streams that I normally would miss, like Retro Yimmy. By the time I get on, he's on, but by that time I'm super exhausted, and because I just get off of work, and and at that point then I feel like I'm battling time between spending time with my wife and trying to being exhausted after a long day of work, where now I can go ahead and I can spend time with her in the mornings, before I start at 10 o'clock, and just kind of relax and then work, and then do my streaming thing from like 8 o'clock and until like 11:30 or 12 and stuff like that. So I'm excited for the new direction and the new schedule and stuff like that. So
okay, that's actually a really good answer. Okay, so the last question I have for you guys, and before we wrap this up, is what are your goals to reach by the end of the year, or by the end of, I'm going to say by the end of 2021, or by the end of the next 365 days? Is there anything specific you guys want to achieve, rather it be as a streamer or whatever the case may be, before the year ends?
I'll go first, and then I'll let Chelsea go. For me, I definitely want to have a successful year, with my job and my real job, and produce good supporting, take care of my family. I definitely want to be getting into a direction of where we have set a goal for ourselves in the next 2 or 3 years. We want to be able to buy a house. So we're working on getting our credit good and stuff like that, and I definitely want to. That's one of my goals. So to be able to purchase a house and make a better life that way. From a streaming perspective, I definitely, I want to definitely grow the channel. I'm definitely going to be trying to dive in more into, the YouTube and the TikTok and everything like that. Right now, it's kind of tough because, and I was thinking about, different ways to, try to make some content and stuff like that. But, when I'm going live, I'm getting anywhere from 16 or 20 people that are coming in. And that's, to me, I'm actually really, happy about that, because normally when the new game comes out, you get a lot of people that get on and some of your viewership dies down and stuff like that. So I want to keep that intensity. I want to keep that consistency. And by the end of the year, I want to be having, 30-40 consistent viewers, and occasionally, hitting that spike of that 50, 60, 70 people, getting to that point where, hey, we're making that push for a partner. I want to grow this year. I don't want to stay and make like a lateral move. I don't want to be in the same position I was, now at the end of the year. I want to be making a stride to getting to where I want to go. And because I feel like I have a small window. I feel like I don't have, a very open window here. I'm going to be 33 in January. And when I look at a lot of these guys, that are doing this, I believe W's like 34, Stomo, I think he's over 30 as well. These guys are established, and they've been established now for some time. For me, I want to get established, and I want to start building that, and get to the point where I can support my family. I don't have to worry about not making a football game, not making a dance recital, not, missing a soccer game, or, if I want to go and take my kids to the beach, I don't have to call in and try to see if there's, PTO available. I don't have to call a boss. I just have to put a tweet out and say, hey, going to the beach with the family. My daughter's starting gymnastics in September. Like, God forbid, say if she, makes the Olympic team, I can travel with her and financially be able to put her get her the best coaches, the best training that she could possibly get. That's my goals. So being able to buy a house, being able to grow my channel, and stuff like that, and just being consistent. Those would probably be my two main goals.
Those are pretty good goals for sure. Definitely respectable goals. All right, Chelsea.
So I think mine, I guess for me, just to be able to have my channel turn into something to where the burden for Robbie isn't just put on him when it comes to the financial aspect of, obviously, life.
Yeah.
Being a stay-at-home mom and, him just having to do everything for the family on his own. Granted, I did, work in the past and stuff like that, but the more children you have, it kind of makes it a little hard to be able to do that. So I just hope to eventually have my channel grow to the point where I can start helping financially and lessen the burden for him. I just want to continue to build relationships, network, grow like a nice, tight community of genuine people, and, see where it goes from there. I mean, I'm so new to it that at this point, I can't really say where it would go because I've only been streaming for not even 5 months, but, I think that's the most I can really say about it at this point because you really don't know. I feel like Twitch is a day-to-day type of thing. Like, you never know. You might get lucky and, say, get rated by somebody that's,
like a Dougie, a ScoMo,
right, like
those
something
type of
crazy,
people.
Right? So that can always happen to you, and your channel can just take off, and you can just blow up from there. But for now, the position I'm in, I just hope to continue to build the relationships that I'm building, the friendships, the community, be able to just lessen the burden on Robbie financially, and that's pretty much it.
So basically, your goal isn't just to reach your goal; it's also to kind of help with Rob's goal as well.
Yeah, I do.
Which is a very good answer. A very much a expected couple type of answer. A good couple, I should say, type of answer, because there's some bad couples out there, and that's very much a good couple type of answer. He has his goals, you have yours, but yours is also to kind of help push him a little bit more towards his as well. And that's a very respectful way of doing it. You're not that type of couple where it's only about one person's goal. You have your own separate goals that you can help each other reach, and that's definitely that's couple goals. If anything, else it's that. Now, we're going to be going ahead and winding this down to the end. So, do you guys have any closing remarks?
You go first, dear.
Yeah.
Okay. What I would just, closing remarks is, like I was kind of saying before, just get out into the community, and support those, support other people. Be careful of, we talked about, there's some people that are out there, they're doing the right things, and there's some people that are out there, they're not doing the right things. And I'm not necessarily talking about people, that are in, our inner stream circle. That's not what I'm talking about. It could be anybody. It could be people that are newly coming onto Twitch, people that you found because you're browsing the game and stuff like that, and you're looking for, somebody's playing Madden, or somebody's playing Call of Duty, or somebody's playing Dead by Daylight, or something like that, and you find that person and you get involved, and you get, financially maybe committed to that, to that community. Make sure that and you're getting a familiarity for those types of people. What kind of people are they? And stuff like that. They always say birds of a feather flock together. So if one person is a certain type of way and everything like that, and you see other people supporting that person, it's one of two things. Either A, they don't know about the person, or B, they're just like that person. So, just be aware. Just be aware. Stay positive about yourself, and don't worry about, other people or other people's streams or anything like that. One thing that I've learned, I put in an application for OG Network, and that's something that I've been wanting for a long period of time. And unfortunately, I didn't get chosen this time, for certain reasons, in certain confrontations that took place. And, at the time, was I wrong for making my retaliation? No, because I felt like I was, defending something that I felt was, something I needed to defend, which was my wife. But at the same time, it's about when the right time and when's the wrong time, and every reaction has either a positive or a negative reaction. And it just so happened that
I honestly don't think there's a wrong time to do what you're talking about, because obviously I do know what you're talking about, but I don't think there would have been a wrong time to do that. I feel like the only way the message would have been received is exactly how you went about doing it. And if anyone tells you otherwise, they obviously don't understand the situation. They don't understand what it's like to have someone, a significant other that you care about that much, to stand up for them and, throw up a video about it so that people know how you feel. And so I'm letting you know, I don't think there was any false step in there. If you did it today, I'd still tell you the same thing. It's how you feel, and you need to get it out there.
And the thing about it is, and I agree, I will always, if it comes down to my wife or anything, it's always going to be my wife. I mean, that's just the way that it is. But at the same time, it's, when you're trying to get involved with something, or, especially, something like OGN, it's a business. And OGN is a business, and OGN, handles himself like a business. And, when, you get into a confrontation and stuff like that, and one of the confrontation involves somebody that's already involved into that business and everything like that, they're going to choose, obviously, or go with that point, like, hey, we don't want that confrontation, we don't want this, we don't want that. Rightfully so, rightfully understandable. That other person has their foot in the door, I do not. I'm trying to get my foot in the door. So it's just about, like, it's no different than if you're, if you're running for governor, or you're running for president, or something like that. Yes, is it right to defend, and stuff like that? Yes, but and when you're trying to do something, you have to pick and choose, when you do it. Sometimes you got to swallow your pride, and sometimes, you just have to, let it eat away at you a little bit and just let it go, because it may not always be worth it, because you never know who's watching. In that case, in that situation.
Thank you, MandaBear22, for the follow. And RoboTeach, you're actually at the tail end of the podcast. However, this will be going up as a YouTube video. So, obviously, I'm pretty sure you're subscribed to that, so you'll be able to catch the entire thing on there. Also, while I'm on the topic of the YouTube video, if when I get that posted, if you two wouldn't mind hitting the like button and maybe commenting on it, I'd appreciate that from both of you. You obviously don't have to do it, but I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll definitely do that. For that. So just find those people, kind of wrapping it up, find those people that you enjoy, find those people that, that are doing it for the right reasons, and support them, whether it's financially or just about with your time, do that. You can never go wrong there. Always keep your eyes and your ears open, to your surroundings and to the people that you're getting involved with, and just continue to grow, continue to grind. Just because, like I said, somebody else's success is not going to be your success. You could have, a different success or less success. Just because, don't focus so much on other people. Focus mostly on yourself. What can you do to get better? What can you do to grow? What can you do to advance yourself? And when you're trying to do that, and maybe it's not going right away, and then you see somebody that maybe, might be a bad person, or might be a liar, or might be, a scumbag, or might be somebody that, you don't like, and they're having that success, don't sit there and question it. Don't sit there and be like, oh, what the hell, or, and doubt yourself. Continue to fight for yourself, continue to grow yourself, continue to believe that you are capable and good enough to achieve those things, because you're only as good and as strong as your mind allows you to be. And if you don't control your mind and you don't have that mental strength, you're going to be as weak as you possibly can. So that would be the only thing that I would probably say.
No problem, RoboTeach. Hopefully your day's going good, though, and when you hop in, I'll obviously be posting a link to the YouTube video once it's been converted over from Twitch. So if you want to hop on there, watch it, and hopefully it gives you some entertainment and you get some good quality fun out of it, and hopefully your day so far has been good. Okay, Chelsea, any closing remarks?
So I would just say, stay true to yourself. Don't conform into what you see, if that makes sense. So, stay true to yourself. Don't change who you are to fit in with anybody in the community, to sit at the pool table. You know what I mean? Like, stay true to who you are and carry that, and that will get you farther than anything else. Because as soon as you start to conform into somebody you're not, it's not going to work out for you, because everybody's going to be able to know that that's not truly who you are. You can only act for so long, if that makes sense. Just stick with the genuine ones and keep it pushing.
Okay, so before I let you both off of this Discord call, I'm going to let you guys know who's following you guys up for the next 2 podcasts. We haven't locked down a time or a day yet for one of them, but we have a day and a time for the other one. Let me talk about the person I haven't locked down yet, specifically. I plan on having McMillie on here at one point this coming week. And then I will have Memory on Thursday. So hopefully, I'm pretty sure with those two, I'll get some pretty good set of interviews there that would probably at least match your guys's and PTA's. Lots of entertainment will probably come from both of those, and I'm sure they both will give us a lot of knowledge and a lot of insight from their own perspectives, which is what this podcast is all about. But with that being said, thank you two very much for being here and having taken the time out of your very busy day to pop in and entertain some people with me.
Well, absolutely. It was a pleasure to for you to have us on, and thank you very, very much for giving us the opportunity to come in and spend some time with you and answer questions and stuff like that, and have people get to know us a little bit. So greatly appreciate it, 100%.
Yes, we appreciate it. Thank you so much. It was great. Love being able to, get different, different takes on the community and everybody's, insight on it, and because everybody has different opinions. So we appreciate it so much.
And once again, I'll thank you guys, and I'll be seeing you guys around the Twitch streets, and Dead by Daylight probably this coming week for you, so.
Absolutely. I'm here for it.
Alright, love you guys.
Love ya.
Love you too, man. Take it easy.
Alright, bye. Alright guys, so with that interview finished up, I will be having this on YouTube either today or tomorrow at some point. Make sure you guys show that some love, especially if you missed it. Try to hit the like button on that, as well as subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment to try to help the algorithm boost my video up a little bit. Obviously, as you guys heard, McMillie and Memory will be the next two I'll be trying to get on stream. And now we're going to find somewhere to raid out to. I had an idea, but I can't find that person right now. Did she already hop off? She might have already hopped off, or she just got a ton of people in. No, actually, she did not. Okay, so we're going to send this off to Nishi BZA. I'm pretty sure it's one of the people McMillie Miss Rob mentioned. So we'll go ahead and give her a raid, since I don't think I've ever raided her before. And if you guys obviously enjoyed this, go ahead and whisper me if you would like to be interviewed on here as well, and we'll try to set up a day and a time, much like we did with the R0bs here. But yeah, we're going to ship this off to Mishi now, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this stream. We'll be bringing much more of it in the coming days, and I hope you guys enjoy her stream as well. Make sure you drop my emotes if you have them, and let them know where you came from.
It looks non-greasy, but I mean, I don't think it's too bad for... Hey, Coach, welcome in!